Hello there, very good afternoon and welcome to Lunchtime News on TV1 for the news first where the people come first. I'm Martin Satyanesan. Let's start off with a look at your headlines for this afternoon. Court order preventing a protest in Colombo. Water levels in many reservoirs reduced further. 300,000 people affected. Rain forecast for the southwestern part of the island. Aswesuma benefits to be made available in the bank accounts. Consideration of appeals continue.
ලාභීන්ට මුදල් ලබා ගැනීමට හැකියාවක් වෙන්නේ නැහැ. බැංකුව විසින් ඒ මුදල් ප්‍රතිලාභීන්ගේ ගිණුම් වලට ඉන්න අනතුරුව බැර කරන්න අවශ්‍ය වැඩ කටයුතු කරයි.
Students to be banned from wearing abaya in France. On to those stories in detail. The Colombo Fort Magistrate has issued an order to prevent the protests scheduled to be staged by the trade unions, civil societies, mass organizations and political parties affiliated with the Frontline Socialist Party. This was following the facts presented by the Colombo Fort Police. The order was issued to prevent 24 people, including Duminda Nagamuwa, the convener of the Labour Protest Centre, Mujibur Rahman and Hirunika Premachandra from Samagijana Balavegya, and Charita Herath and Vasudeva Nanayakara of Freedom People's Movement from entering several locations in Colombo. Accordingly, entry from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. today to the Presidential Secretariat in Colombo, President's Office, Ministry of Finance, Central Bank of Sri Lanka and other state institutions in the Colombo Fort area is prohibited. Additionally, entry from CTU Junction to Ceramic Junction, NSA roundabout to Lotus Road, York Street, Bank Street and Golf Face roundabout to Gall Road is prohibited. The relevant order states no damage should be caused to public and private property and there should be no violent incidents that may provoke people. Its state violations of those orders is a punishable offence. The number of people affected by arid weather condition has increased to 291,715. The Disaster Management Centre stated that 18 of the 25 districts in Sri Lanka have been affected by the dry spell. According to the latest data from the Disaster Management Centre, Kegal, Trincomalee, Ampara, Putlam, Kurunegala, Vavuniya, Mannar and Mullaitivu districts have been severely affected by the dry weather. Jaffna district is reported to be the worst affected with numbers hitting 70,408. 46,693 people in Ratnapura district and 29,508 people in Batticaloa district have been affected by arid weather. It can be seen that many small lakes in Polonnaruwa district are drying up due to dry weather. This is the Ruhunuketha lake belonging to the Valikanda Regional Secretariat. Almost all the water sources in the area have dried up and the people are facing an acute drinking water crisis. About 85 families in Agunukola Palace, Gorakavela area have been severely affected without drinking water. Water is supplied to these villages from the Ratmalvala Community Water Project. But due to dry weather, a situation has arisen where it is not possible to supply water through the water project. The villages are demanding an immediate solution to the drinking water problem. The people of the Nidule Mada in Madadumbara in Kandy district suffer the same fate. About 150 families in the village are suffering because they cannot find drinking water. Due to the dry weather, many crops are being destroyed in several villages including Ratnadimbulwava, Galkadavala and other villages belonging to Ehethuwava Divisional Secretariat in the Kurunegala district. About 50 acres of paddy fields in the area have suffered such a fate due to the drying up water in the Ratnadimbulwava river.
The Department of Agriculture says paddy in over 50,000 rice fields in the country have already been destroyed by the arid weather conditions in the country as a result of not making the appropriate decisions with regard to irrigation. Issues have escalated to crises as a result of mismanagement. Officials have warned multiple times about a possible water crisis at the Mahaveli Water Management Committee meeting, and this was even in the presence of the Cabinet of Ministers.
මිනිස්සුන්ගේ මූලික අයිතිවාසිකම තමයි අපි ජලය දෙන එක ආණ්ඩුවේ. ඒක නිසා
It is a fundamental right of the people to have access to water. It is a responsibility of the government, so all the local government bodies must use their funds to provide water to the people. When I was on my way on radio, they said rains are expected. Even we can say it is raining when it is actually raining. We can say it when it shines as well. But if the Met Department told us during July and August that there will be a drought and that we should get ready, we should have found a solution. There is no use if they tell us once the situation has already arrived.
ආවට පස්සේ
MP Chandima Veerakodi made the following remarks.
නිලධාරීන්ට තනියෙන් කරන්නත් බෑ දේශපාලඥයන්ට තනියෙන් කරන්නත් බෑ දෙගොල්ලම එකතු වෙලා තමයි ඉතිහාසය හැමදාම මේවා කරේ දැන් විදුලි බල
Officers cannot do it alone. Politicians cannot do it alone. Both of them did this together in history. We have all the reports to study the climate conditions of this country. So don't they discuss with the Ministry of Irrigation, the Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Power and the Department of Meteorology? These institutions were not formed yesterday. So far the things have not happened in this country seem to be unknown. Without paying attention to it, the people are clearly convinced today that there is no work plan for the country and they are waiting for the opportunity to fill their pockets. They spoke very highly of themselves, stating that they will solve the issues. But has anything happened? No.
අද ජනතාවට ඒත්තු වෙනවා. ඒ හින්දා කිව්වේ කොහමද අර ප්‍රශ්නේ විසඳනවා මේ ප්‍රශ්නේ විසඳනවා බොහොම ඉහලින් කතා කරේ. මොකක් හරි කරලා තියෙන්නේ මොනවා හරි වෙලා තියෙනවද? නෑ.
The Department of Meteorology says the showery condition is expected to enhance to some extent in southwestern part of the island in the next few days, starting from today.
Several spells of showers will occur in the western and Sabaragamu provinces and in Norelia, Kandy, Gaul and Mathura districts. Showers or thunder showers will occur at several places in the Uva province and in Ampara and Batiklo districts during the evening or night. Meanwhile, the sun is going to be directly over Sri Lanka from the 28th of August to the 7th of September. The towns over which the sun is overhead today are Kovilan Point and Malakam in the Jaffna district at 12:11 p.m.
Vijay Surya, the cause of death of the person who died at the Colombo National Hospital after the administration of an antibiotic called Coamexiclo is an allergy. He mentioned that yesterday's post-mortem examination has raised doubts about it. Dr. Vijay Surya mentioned that the samples were sent to the Medical Research Institute to confirm the cause of the death.
The Government Medical Officers Forum emphasizes that the Cabinet should meet and take a decision on the medical crisis immediately.
කෙදී ආසාත්මිකතාවයක් හැදුච්ච නිසාමද මැන්නු කියලා තර්කයක් ගොඩනගන්න පුළුවන්. කවුරු හරි
An argument can be made that the life was lost due to an allergy. When someone stabs someone in the chest, they can give a very funny answer that they don't know if the person who stabbed them died because of that or if they had an heart attack at that time. This is normalized now. People have had to accept this as a normal situation. Don't judge this situation just by the death toll. How many patients have been saved from near death? This is a national disaster. This is an emergency. The cabinet should meet immediately for this. They don't meet and make a decision. It doesn't matter to anyone. The rulers seem to have no problem.
කාටත් වැදගත් නෑ. මේක මේ
The Department of Agriculture says paddy in over 50,000 rice fields in the country have already been destroyed by the arid weather conditions in the country as a result of not making the appropriate decisions with regard to irrigation. Issues have escalated to crises as a result of mismanagement. Officials have warned multiple times about a possible water crisis at the Mahavali Water Management Committee meeting, and this was even in the presence of the Cabinet of Ministers.
මිනිස්සුන්ගේ මූලික අයිතිවාසිකම තමයි අපි ජලය දෙන එක ආණ්ඩුවේ. ඒක නිසා
It is a fundamental right of the people to have access to water. It is a responsibility of the government, so all the local government bodies must use their funds to provide water to the people. When I was on my way on radio, they said rains are expected. Even we can say it is raining when it is actually raining. We can say it when it shines as well. But if the Met Department told us during July and August that there will be a drought and that we should get ready, we should have found a solution. There is no use if they tell us once the situation has already arrived.
අපි මොකක් හරි එකක් කරනවා. ආවට පස්සේ මේක කියන්න නම් වැඩක් නැහැ අපේ හඳුන්නේ.
The executive committee meeting of the Bandaragama area of the SLPP was held yesterday. The executive committee meeting was held under the leadership of MP Namal Rajapaksa.
Like the government we established after we encountered setbacks in 2015, the SLPP will establish a stronger government in 2024. My expectation and dream is that Namal Rajapaksa will take over an important position in that government. I was there with your father. No matter who says what, with responsibility I say the governance of this country will be taken over by the SLPP and the Rajapakshas. Please allow me to name two positions in that government. 1. Speaker, Andru Kumar Dissanayake, and 2. Deputy Speaker, Sajid Premadasa. Both of them can speak. Let's face the challenges. They slid mud at my father back in the day. Today they do it to me. We don't need it in our own stage. We will implement a program to strengthen the local farmers and entrepreneurs. When India sends a rocket, they are talking about the rocket sent by my brother. It is a private investment. If anyone has issues, bring that to cope. It is important to know what is the program that will uplift the country than who is the presidential candidate. Ranil Wickremesinghe will hold the election when he thinks. We will extend our support to Ranil Wickremesinghe. However, when it comes to an election, we will strike to take our party to victory. Is the present government making decisions for the benefit of the government alone? Views were expressed regarding this during a meeting of the Jatika Jana Balawegaya yesterday.
IMF වැඩසටහන 2028 දක්වා ක්‍රියාත්මක වීමට
The IMF program will take place till 2028 as per the agreement between Sri Lanka and the IMF. Sri Lanka's debt at the start of the program stood at $84 billion, but as of this year it increased to $91 billion. $14 billion of foreign debt is to be reduced. Let's assume it works and our debt is reduced. By 2028 more debt will be taken. They will slash $14 billion and again take a loan of $20 billion. That's their plan.
$6 billion වැඩියෙන් ණය වෙනවා 2028 වෙනකොට. ඒක තමයි සැලැස්ම ඇතුලේ තියෙන සාරාංශය.
රනිල් ලයිට් පෝලිං නැති කරා, තෙල් පෝලිං නැති කරා, ගෑස් පෝලිං නැති කරා. නෑ. Ranil මුකුත් කරේ නෑ.
They say Ranil solved the power crisis, gas crisis and fuel crisis. No, he didn't. We just adjusted our lives to live with the crisis. Whether it's Ranil, Mahinda or Anura Kumara that becomes president, the government needs money. The government now earns money by pestering the citizens. Someone who used to pay a tax of 18,000 rupees is now paying over 100,000 in taxes. 850 doctors have migrated. We cannot blame those who migrate. They leave only after trying hard to survive here. They say taxing the high-income earners is fine. It's not. Even the daily wage earner is affected when the high-income earner is taxed too much. The rocket Chandrayaan was sent to the moon by India. If there was someone lending money on the moon, our people would have gone there by foot. That's how much they are hungry for debt.
Former Finance Minister Ravi Karunanayake says that everyone has a responsibility to restore the country. Is it natural to have such problems in some way when you get into a certain state of affairs? But we need an atmosphere where we can live in harmony by giving a humane answer to it. We cannot lead this country into an economic abyss again. What we need is to restore the country. Together, we all have a responsibility to take this forward. We have achieved independence for 75 years, but we have not achieved economic freedom. Even now, let us unite and live as one family.
State Minister of Finance Shehan Semesinghe has revealed that beneficiaries of the Aswasama Welfare Benefit Scheme will have the opportunity to access their funds through banks starting either Tuesday or Wednesday. During the initial phase, the number of eligible families for the Welfare Benefit Scheme stands at 800,000. The minister says that the necessary funds for distribution will be transferred from the Treasury to the banks today.
බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා දැනට මේ ලක්ෂ 8 වෙනුවෙන් රුපියල් බිලියන 5ක මුදලක් තමයි සුබසාධක ප්‍රතිලාභ මණ්ඩල.
The Welfare Benefit Board will transfer 5 billion rupees to the banks in order to provide the funds to 800,000 families. The funds will be sent to the banks today, so the beneficiaries cannot obtain their funds today itself. The banks will take the necessary steps to transfer the funds to the beneficiaries' accounts. We hope to discuss this with the state bank officials tomorrow regarding how this process can take place conveniently. We will take steps to resolve any technical faults. We are also working swiftly on the examination of appeals and objections. We are trying our best to provide these funds. If anyone submits false information and obtains funds, legal action will be taken against them.
කෙනෙක් ප්‍රතිලාභයක් ලබා ගන්නවා නම් ලබාගෙන තිබුණොත් ඒ ප්‍රතිලාභය නැවත වරයක් රජයට අය කර ගැනීමටත් ඔවුන්ට විරුද්ධව අධිකරණමය ක්‍රියාමාර්ග ගැනීමටත් සුබසාධක ප්‍රතිලාභ මණ්ඩලයට හැකියාවක් තියෙනවා.
The human-elephant conflict continues in rural Sri Lanka, with another death reported yesterday due to a wild elephant attack. The Polonnaruwa Bakamona Diggalapitiya village has been battered by wild elephant encroachments for many years. Last night, another life was claimed. The victim was identified as a 44-year-old father of one. While he was watering his maize field, he was attacked by these wild elephants. Villagers point out that wild elephants from Angamadilla National Park encroach into the village. Villagers request authorities to provide a solution to their critical problem. Meanwhile, the wild elephant known as Manampitiya Chandi, who was shot and injured for about 3 weeks back, has been found lying on the Pulanarva-Kotaliya Canal. The wildlife officials said that despite the treatment of wild elephant in collaboration with local residents, the elephant is still in critical condition. A special session on advances of 6G technology was held at the Telecommunication Regulatory Commission yesterday. The session was held in line with the 17th International Seminar on Industrial and Information Systems. Professor Niranjan Gunawardana, Secretary to the Ministry of Technology, and representatives from the telecommunication industry attended the event. Professor Marcos Ketz of University of Oulu in Finland, Dr. Kuntal Deka from Indian Institute of Technology, and researcher Tushant Sivalingam of Finnish 6G flagship project shared their experience in 6G technology. Sessions mainly revolved around current issues implementing 5G technology, developments and concerns on 6G technology, 6G roadmap of India, and important research findings in context of 6G technology. In your international news, students will be banned from wearing abaya, a loose-fitting full-length robe worn by some Muslim women in France's state-run schools, the education minister says.
The rule will be applied as soon as the new school year starts on the 4th of September. France has a strict ban on religious signs in state schools and government buildings, arguing that they violate secular laws. Wearing a headscarf has been banned since 2004 in state-run schools. The move comes after months of debate over the wearing of abayas in French schools. The government has been increasingly worn in schools, leading to a political divide over them, with right-wing parties pushing for a ban, while those on the left have voiced concerns for the rights of Muslim women and girls.
The Taliban government have banned women from visiting the Bandamir National Park in Bamiyan province. Afghanistan's acting Minister of Virtue and Vice, Mohammad Khalid Hanafi, said women had not been observing hijab inside the park. He called on religious clerics and security agencies to forbid women from entering until a solution was found. Bandia Amir is a significant tourist attraction, becoming Afghanistan's first national park in 2009. It is a popular destination for families, and the ban on women attending will prevent many from being able to enjoy the park. UNESCO describes the park as a naturally created group of lakes with special geological formations and structure, as well as natural and unique beauty. Religious clerics in Bamiyan said the women who were visiting the park and not following the rules were visitors to the area. From that, we bring to a close this edition of Lunchtime News on TV1. For details of the stories and much more, simply log on to our website www.newsfirst.lk. For the News First, where the people come first, I'm Martin Satyanes, and you take care and have a great day.